Welcome back to the Dread Engine, where we forge nightmares from the truth. In our last entry, we uncovered 5 places you're forbidden to visit, and the people who vanished there. Tonight, we go deeper into the wild. National parks and remote wilderness areas should be places of beauty and adventure. But for some, they become permanent graves with no body ever found. Rangers have seen patterns they can't explain. These are 5 of the most bizarre disappearances in America's national parks. Cases that defy logic. If you're planning a hike, you might want to think twice. Let's fire up the engine. June 14th. 1969. 6-year-old Dennis Martin is on a family camping trip in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. During a game of hide-and-seek with other kids, Dennis hides behind a bush just off the trail. His father calls for him. No answer. Hundreds of searchers, bloodhounds, and helicopters scour the area for weeks. They find one small footprint, a child's shoe print in the mud, heading away from the trail, and then nothing. No clothing, no body, no trace. The official story? He got lost and succumbed to the elements. But experienced trackers and rangers noted something strange. The print suggested he was running, and the terrain he supposedly crossed was nearly impossible for a small child in such a short time. To this day, Dennis Martin's disappearance remains one of the most puzzling cases in park history, and the searchers reported hearing distant screams that didn't sound quite human. Case 2. Jared Atadero, October 2nd, 1999. 3-year-old Jared is hiking with his father and a church group in the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. Jared runs ahead on the trail, excited to explore. His father turns for just a moment, and the boy is gone. Hundreds of volunteers search for days. They find tiny clothing items, a shoe, a sock, scattered in impossible locations, some high up on ledges a toddler could never reach. Search dogs lose the scent abruptly, as if the boy vanished into thin air. Years later, a mountain lion expert examined the evidence and said it didn't match a typical animal attack. The official conclusion? Missing, presumed taken by wildlife. But many rangers and searchers still whisper about something far stranger in those mountains. Case 3. The disappearance of Morgan Heimer. July 2018. Morgan, an experienced river guide, is working in Grand Canyon National Park. During a routine trip, he steps away from the group for a moment near the river. He never returns. Extensive searches by park rangers and rescue teams turn up nothing. No body, no gear, no signs of struggle. The Colorado River is powerful, but experienced guides like Morgan rarely vanish without a trace. What makes this case especially strange is the location, a heavily monitored, frequently traveled section of the canyon. Some witnesses reported hearing unusual sounds right before he disappeared. To this day, his case remains unsolved.
Another haunting mystery in America's most famous national park.
Case Quarter. One of the most unsettling disappearances documented by author and researcher David Paulides. A fit, prepared man sets out on a popular trail in 2010. He tells his family he'll be back by evening. He never makes it. Search teams comb the area for weeks. They find his backpack and gear neatly stacked in an unusual spot, far from the trail. But no sign of the man himself. No footprints leading away. No evidence of injury or animal attack. Rangers noted the weather was clear, yet the disappearance happened in an area with bizarre patterns of missing persons. Some cases in this park defy every logical explanation, leaving investigators and families with more questions than answers.
Case 5. The mysterious disappearance of a solo hiker in Yosemite National Park. In 2022, an experienced backpacker heads into a remote section of the park known for its rugged beauty. He checks in with family via satellite phone midway through the trip. That is the last anyone hears from him. Despite massive search efforts using helicopters, drones, and ground teams, no trace is ever found. His campsite is discovered perfectly intact, with all his gear still there, as if he simply walked away into the wilderness and vanished. Yosemite has seen multiple similar cases over the years. Rangers admit privately that some areas seem to swallow people whole, leaving behind more questions than answers. That is the end of this entry from the Dread Engine. 5 more cases that continue to haunt our national parks and wilderness areas. Which disappearance unsettled you the most? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want more forbidden files and true horror stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We fire up the engine every week with new nightmares forged from reality. Until next time, stay out of the woods after dark.